noon. I'm sitting here having a chuckle to myself because I've just had a shower. My hair's all wet and all I'm doing is I've just put my stuff on my skin and I'm waiting for everything to dry, and I'm as raw and naked as a newborn baby. I'm laughing to myself because I said I look like if Snow White had a baby with Wurzel Gummidge. I swear to God. So anyway, speaking of God, he just kicked Donald Trump's ass in a major way. Now, that's not what this live is about. I've put a link in the description box below, but you're going to have to click on everything, the threads and everything for it to make sense, but it's pretty mind-blowing. If you ever needed proof that God was real, click on the link in the description box. However, this event that just happened in regards to God and Donald Trump and all his minions gave me an idea because it involved Nikola Tesla or Nikola Tesla, however you want to say it. I say Nikola. Because it brought up the whole finger of point 72, the Count Trumpula dream, direct energy weapons, as you do with me, and of course Nikola Tesla. Because if you remember, I documented a couple of years ago, actually, when I first moved into this holding cell of a flat of mine. I finished Nikola Tesla's work. He was trying to figure out the secrets of the pyramid, and all these people were trying to say it was that he'd figured out that aliens were real and yada and blah, and I knew he'd gotten it wrong. And I literally had a eureka moment while I was having my first roast dinner in this flat, having been starved for so long. When I was locked up and with my ex and that. So I had like a eureka moment because I was trying to work on my biorhythmic field generator, and it led me to Nikola Tesla and the work that he was trying to do at the pyramids of Giza. He was onto it. He was onto something. He knew he was onto something with biorhythmics and bioengineering and all that, but because he didn't have access to the keys, because he's not Persian, he's not Arab, because he didn't have genetic access to it, he died before he had a chance to figure it out. And he was trying to put all his knowledge of like biorhythmic engineering or electromagnetic engineering into his direct energy weapon, into a weapon. It was when he invented, what do you want to call it, HAARP, in the 1890s and that, when they were testing it out on, like the Alan Moore Lighthouse and all that, he didn't realise what they were going to use it for, what they were going to use his weapons for, and he knew that they were stealing his ideas. They knew that he was stealing his technology, and he knew that they were taking stuff in order to control and hurt mankind. So I finished Nikola Tesla's work in bioengineering. Well, bioengineering, but biorhythmic engineering. I finished his work. Except, unlike him, I didn't put my direct energy weapon into an actual, tangible, because that was the thing. The mistake a lot of these scientists make, sorry, I've just had my lunch, is that they think that these things need to be harnessed in a tangible thing. And what my Egyptian ancestors were trying to say is that the power that we harness is within ourselves, and that if you can tap into the frequencies of the universe, the conscious frequency of atom and all of that, you become the weapon yourself. We're supposed to be beyond fighting wars on battlefields. We're supposed to be advanced within ourselves organically, that we become untouchable, protected frameworks of energy ourselves as human individuals. But because we had people like the CIA and the Secret Service and the militaries and all of that trying to harness science in order to control mankind, we went down the wrong path and we went down the dark path. Like how, they have always spread the lie that the moon was a woman and the sun was a man, right? Those sort of things there. The way they try to interpret the Egyptian mind and the mind sciences, flipped everything in reverse because they got it all wrong. And the more they get wrong, the more dangerous they become. But not to mankind, to us, to themselves, because what happens is the laws of the universe, the laws of the atomic frequency, everything has to be balanced in order for an atom to stay steady. And when people are harnessing energy for darkness and for bad and for evil, it comes back on them tenfold. Energy returns. When you send energy out, it has to go somewhere, but all it does is it breaks down infinitesimally on a molecular level, and it returns back in kind through rebirth and resurrection and atomic evolution. Like when you're dead, if you've been dead longer than 100 years, your atoms become a part of everything else in the universe, right? It's the exact same thing. Energy, when it breaks down and gets sent out, will always come back to you in a new form. So that's why all hell's breaking loose for these powers that be, no matter how much they try and kid themselves into thinking they're in control. They don't realise the matrix is slowly being torn down because everything that they've sent out is now coming back tenfold. And the reason why I'm saying this is because in the work that I did with I call him Master Tesla because he was my teacher. Even if he is dead, I don't care what anyone says. If you understand how the atomic conscious universe works, grow up and learn some things. I finished his work in direct energy weapons, but I am the direct energy weapon. So my finger of point, my FP42, when I thought I was developing the God phone thinking it looked like a pointed finger and had something to do with my space program. I mean, you have to forgive me back in the early days because you have to understand. It took me 3 years to get used to eating food again, and I'd been put through such a shocking situation, where my instincts kicked in order for my need to survive everything that I had been put through. It took me a few years to stabilize myself energetically, because after I got let out, when I got locked up, I had 3 years of trying to unspin my brain in order to figure out what the hell just bloody happened to me. And so I wasn't in my right mind because I was in an energetically stable mind, because everything had been turned upside down and, everything was off kilter, because I'd basically been put in like a spin cycle of a washing machine from the minute Chris poisoned my pizza right up until I got let out. And then Chris trying to get me arrested for something that had nothing to do with me. It was like I'd been let off spin cycle and had to wait for everything to stop swirling and spinning to figure out everything. And the only thing that kept me moving steady was me writing and documenting everything on my social media and working on my books and my stories and my food and my products and my science. So, so I finished Nikola Tesla's work, and now that I'm steady, now that the world isn't spinning around me, now that I'm balanced and focused and, everything has calmed down, everything I worked on in the past that matters is all falling into place. Now, what happened with Donald Trump is all to do with everything I'm talking about, because remember, he was involved in what happened to me. And it was because I posted a thing about Nikola Tesla talking about being stolen from. And I replied to the post saying, I know how that feels. Nikola Tesla and I have got a common foe, the Trump family, because Nikola Tesla was killed, hit by the car and killed so that Donald Trump's uncle, who he's named after, John Trump, could steal all his work and his direct energy weapon. And then because I was referring to Donald Trump stealing the Dear Satan clause and, some of my speeches, my manifesto, all that sort of thing, I obviously have the proof, like I can prove it. I can also prove that they've been watching my social media and using my words to post on their own social media. I can prove that them pretending to be Q, taking from predictions that I'd made in the future that then they use to pretend to be Q. I can prove it. I have all the evidence. It's all there on my social media. My evidence will stand up in court, right? So then what happened last night, was it last night? Yeah, last night or the early hours of the morning. Last night. Click on the link in the description box below to figure the rest out as to why Donald Trump just got his ass kicked and why he's about to be crushed in full view of the entire world. He's absolutely lost his mind. And then what it's doing is it's exposing everybody who supported him as well. And just a few hours before he stupidly did what he did, when he walked into the trap, I told him he was about to walk into a trap. So anyway, just click on the link in the description box below and it'll explain it all. However, the good thing that has come out of this, other than the fact that God has once again announced that Vladimir Putin is going to be receiving the Holy Land, that he's going to be receiving everything tenfold that was taken from him, stolen from him, tried to remove his importance in the world, like God is exalting him. He's going to be raised up and paraded because God is very proud of him and his patience and his resilience, and everything that was stolen from him is going to come back to him tenfold. It's also going to give Iran the credit that they deserve on the world stage for basically being the ones who were chosen to save everybody, to save the world. Without Donald Trump and Keir Starmer and that going after Iran, people would be none the wiser to what's going on behind closed doors with people like Elon Musk and that. And that's what you need to understand. The veil has been pulled back. Masks are being revealed, faces are being revealed because masks are being pulled off, and now people are looking at like Musk and all of that and going, oh my God, so that's who you are. That's who you really are. That's who you are. Holy shit, So now what's happening is people are becoming defiant. And what you're going to start see happening is revenue dropping because they're going to drop like flies. Now that their masks have been exposed and the shit pile that they've been feasting on no longer has the perfume to cover the smell and the stench of their lies and all of that, people are seeing all of them for who they really are, and now they're about to start feeling the public backlash from it. So you're going to start seeing people like Elon Musk having monumental falls from grace, just like NASA with them faking this whole Artemis thing. People have cottoned onto it. People have figured it all out. People are realising that we've been living in the Matrix this whole time. And the truth of the matter is that all these people that were once considered heroes are now being seen as the instigators of tyranny and deception and lies and oppression and control. And so now we're seeing the uprising. So what it's done for me is that, and what happened when you click on the link in the description box below, it gave me an idea for a movie, because I need a ghost movie. I need like a, like I've got my exorcism movie, but I need one that's, like Poltergeist. Or one of my favourite, I mean, I loved Poltergeist, but one of the movies that I loved was called House, and it had William Catt in it. Remember Greatest American Hero? It had him in it, and yeah, that was one of my favourite, like poltergeisty ghost sort of movies, and I'm going to call it Tesla's Revenge. And it's going to be the story of, it's going to tell the story of Nikola Tesla. It's going to start with him in New York. We'll have to film some of it in New York, obviously. Him being in his hotel, him being hit by the car, them coming in and stealing all his work. Fast forward a few decades later, the president, yada yada. Obviously, I'm not going to name him Trump, because it's going to be a blend of fact and fiction. And how I was thinking of making you like a college student, because I say that me being in this flat is my college years. I'm living out my college years. I'm living how I would have done if I was a student at uni. So I was thinking of making her like a college student, and she's working on this stuff. And yeah, Nikola Tesla starts getting revenge on all the people that killed him, because she unlocks this physics that opens a portal that lets him come through. And and yeah, and so he's going to go after all the people that caused his death. So I was going to call it Tesla's Revenge, or The Curse of Nikola Tesla, something like that. Tesla's Curse, Nikola's Curse, something like that, because he's getting payback, and making it like Poltergeist or House. House scared me more than Poltergeist did. But yeah, it would be along those sort of lines, where his spirit is seeking revenge for his death. He came to me in a dream a couple of years ago, and he said he was going to help me. He said that he was sorry for what he'd invented, what had been done with it, that he didn't know at the time it was going to be used to cause such damage. So yeah, so they took it and they turned it into weaponry to put on their naval ships and their planes and all of that sort of thing. They used it as an actual physical weapon. Whereas because I had the keys, I unlocked the secret door, and I am the energy weapon. I'm a walking energy weapon. I don't need machines. I don't need billions and trillions in investment. I just need chicken. I just need good food. Just good food. A healthy body. But that dream I had, the Count Trumpula, remember where he walked into the backyard, and I said it's like I lured him like bait and he was trapped in my backyard, and then all the fingers of point were pointed at him like missiles, and then they all lit up at once, so that night turned into day, and that he was frozen and exposed. That's just happened. Literally just happened a few hours ago. So now I'm going to turn it into a poltergeist movie. I'm excited. And it means that, see, and one of my all-time favourite horror movies as well is called The Entity. and that is loosely based on a true story. Loosely, very, very, very loosely based on a true story. And I want the opportunity to make a movie like with Poltergeist and House and the Entity, where we get to build a movie set of the inside of a house and bring the house to life, like with breathing walls and, you know, stairs that open up into big scary jaws and all that sort of thing. That's going to be so much fun. So yeah, so at this point it's called Tesla's Revenge, or I might call it Nicola's Curse, the Curse of Tesla. I don't know yet, but you see where I'm going with it. And then we get to like all do all sorts of. I mean, the whole thing is we could turn it into a Halloween festival feature as well. We could turn Amber Wilkinson's School of Alchemy into the house in the movie, even. It just depends on whether I'm going to Switzerland or America. At this point, I've still got my eyes on the prizes of Switzerland, but it could also very well be America once the darkness has been removed. I'm focusing on Switzerland at this point, but Jesus took the wheel. And if you click on the link in the description box below, you're going to laugh at how hilarious that is. When I had that dream where Jesus took the took the wheel, because yeah, when you click on the link and follow the thread, you're going to wet yourself because it's hilarious how spot on I was, and he's not going to be able to come back from what he did. He's not going to be able to come back from this. He's been called out by people from all over the world over what he's just done. He's humiliated himself in a way that you can't unsee how crazy he is now. Which is ironic, because remember they tried to make out like I was the crazy one. Because narcissists always blame you for the things they're guilty of. Always. That's one of their traits. No, you're doing that. No, that's her. No, oh no, she's the... And then God's just flipped it. God's flipped his reality, and it's now people are going, oh my God. He needs a straitjacket. So, yeah, because I know physics. So, yeah, so that's my next movie. That's another tick. I want to be the Queen of Halloween. I want to be the Empress of all things spooky. I want to be the spookiest bitch in all the planet. And you know, I want to rule the horror genres in that. So I'll keep coming up with them for as long as I keep creating them. And then, like I said, every year we'll just put our hands in a hat, and whatever we pull out, that's what we're going to make that year. But at least I'll be giving them a wide selection, and we should be able to pull off making a couple of movies a year, even if we only have the one school. But we should be able to do at least 2 movies a year. So, you know, we'll see where it goes. So that's another movie. That's another feather to add to the cap. At this point, I've got so many feathers in my cap, I could fly away and be the little birdie myself. So, right, so I'm going to go now and let my yogurt digest, and I'll speak to you later. Click the link on the description box below. It's going to be hilarious. Listen to this live, and then click on the link, and you'll be like, oh my God. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite, I know.